The blind hand. The blind hand of the marketplace unerringly creates optimal economic solutions. Thus, toxic emissions from our vehicles should not be saddled with artificial taxes. But weapons producers can increase demand through promotion of phony boogeymen. Given our love of exotic hardwoods, loggers quite naturally clear-cut and sell them all. Pure supply and demand is always superior to meddling government social interventions. Strictly for-profit healthcare will provide all the medical services the old, sick, and poor really need. If it is cheaper to bulldoze cropland than to redevelop strip malls, that alone makes it proper. Exterminating predators in competition for our domestic cattle is natural to market economics. Quite naturally, social costs cannot be found on the ledgers of brave entrepreneurs. Nobody profits from Fords quietly filtering drinking water, so their rate of return is zero. Producers need not pay for problems their contaminated dust brings to far-off lands. Making coal clean is inefficient and costs the consumer more, so it is to be avoided. Air and water are free goods, and pollution controls are simply taxes, not investments. Capitalists will always be rewarded for reducing prices through slashing labor costs. If the Chinese will pay $600 an ounce, starving tribesmen will sell all the ivory they can gun down. Factory trawlers can rob an old African fishing village of its living in the name of globalism. Short-term crop increases justify the use of fossil water and costly, dangerous chemicals. It is merely simple-minded idealism to hope for economic self-interest to be tempered with altruism. Our financials contain no long-term debt reflecting unsustainable resource usage. I can use my 300 horsepower SUV solely as an air conditioner because the gas is all I need to pay for. Why add costly insulation to my home when energy costs less the more that I use? Neither the producer nor the consumer has any economic incentive to recycle. Laissez-faire allows prices to rise until scarce goods are simply driven to extinction. A dirt-poor consumer lacks any incentive to drive producers towards sustainable practices. Government income transfers are an unnatural artifact which corrupt a pure economy. Hiring illegal immigrants at a fraction of market rate is rational economic behavior. Using a cheap, unregulated foreign food ingredient yields a clever competitive advantage. Shifting production overseas saves costs and justifiably brings executives great rewards. A large, poor, uneducated young workforce benefits producers of consumer goods. Realistically, pension plans make no business sense and are to be eliminated via bankruptcy. Citizens should pay their own way in free retirement and healthcare marketplaces. Tying electability to fundraising neatly marries entrepreneurship with politics. Certainly we can rely on supply and demand curves to intersect at sustainable catch levels. We reflect with pride on our pollution reduction, having exported all of our own factories. A no-strings bailout of the too big to fail will produce a blossoming of industrial self-regulation. We will simply let the marketplace test the survivability of these so-called endangered species.